What's good? This is Marcus the Fingaz back with another episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast. This is episode 77. We are moving right along with these episodes almost nonstop. I've been doing these since almost about a year now. I started in August of last year, but we are now episode 77. In this episode, I'm going to dive in on a new plugin from Viral Audio. I believe they are a new company. I believe this is their first plugin. It is called Ascent, and it is trailer tools and sound effects. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, to the Fingers here on YouTube, where I'm going to be doing more video reviews like this. Also, check out the other episode of this podcast, other 76 episodes of this podcast, where I'm talking about sync licensing, trailer music, music business, networking, and all of the above. Check out the links in the description. This podcast is sponsored by the great folk over at ASTS, who also make great sounds and plugins for us to use in our music productions. And also check out the links to check out my Facebook group, the community that I'm running, where you can join, learn about sync licensing. You can check out some other resources for your music production, including an AI tool that I use to bounce stems in Logic Pro. So, and also the first link shall be the link to Viral Audio Ascent. What is Ascent? It is a plugin, as I mentioned, that has modern trailer tools and sound effects, and it includes sounds like basses and brahms and downers and leads and pads and plucks and pulses and risers and sub booms and trailer hits and whooshes. It was created using the Polyvox analog synth library, and also it clocks in at a very modest 400-ish megabytes, I believe, and at the time of this recording, it is on sale for $35, and for that price, you really can't beat it. It will normally jump up to $55 after the intro sale. So what do you get in Ascent? It does use Contact. As you see, I'm using Contact here. I have it loaded up. I have the quick load down here, so I can just drag up the sounds that I need. And I'm going to just start with the sub bass first. To let you see what's in here. You have all these different instruments. You have bass. You have the brahms, as I mentioned. You have these different leads. You have pad sounds, plucks, pulses, risers, sub booms, trailer hits, and whooshes. I'm going to play a couple of these bass sounds for you. You load up Dimension Shift. Down to business. You get some of that growl down there. That was down. Let's do force field. Yeah, that sounds insane. What was that? That was Face Bunner. Unstable power. And just to go over a little bit of the UI here, not too much going on. It's really user-friendly. You have a high-pass filter, so I can cut out the lows. You have a low-pass filter, so I can cut out the highs. I can adjust the start of the sample. I can adjust the ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, release. And then we have dynamics. I'm letting that, I gotta let that sound play out because I had the sustain and release kind of high up. So let's see if it is gone yet. Almost. And then we have stereo width. Let me bring this back up to 0. So let's see where we are first. So that's mono, and that's like extra wide stereo. And I believe if you, I don't see, let's see, if I bring this down here, I'm trying to see if there is a shortcut. If I control click, I can do MIDI automation. If I shift click, nothing, option click. Command click will bring it back to our default settings here. So we're going to command click all these buttons. And then we have the effects page where we can add in some delay. So we have modern analog tape, vintage diffusion. We have different delay options, stereo or ping pong. If you can hear that. We also have EQ, so I can bring out some of the lows. And again, if I command click on these parameters, that'll set them back to their default. We have a compressor built in. We have an exciter. And we have reverb up here. So that's just an overview of the plugin itself. I'm going to go back in and play through some of these sounds. We're going to go to some of the Brahms here. Then we have some downers. Let me play the right range. So I'm not going to play through all those downers, but we're going to go to lead alarmer. So that is a quick overview, just playing through a couple of the sounds there. One thing that I was noticing that I really wish was there, that I've seen in some other plugins, is let's say if I take one of these trailer hits, if I play this sound, and when I adjust the start of the sample, I would like to see a little line or bar here that tells me where the start currently is. Otherwise, I have to keep playing it like this until I get to where I want the start to hit, which is fine. It's not too bad, but sometimes I just want to have that visual indicator of where my start hit will be. So that's just one minor thing I noticed. Another thing, a random button. I would like to see a randomized button where maybe it randomizes some of the settings here. Maybe a random button on the effects page where I can randomize the effects. Nothing too crazy though. Overall, the plugin is a great plugin, especially at that price point of $35. What I will do is I created a track when I first got this plugin. I created a track featuring the plugin here in Logic Pro. So I'm going to close out this here. On this track, all the red instruments that you see, I'm going to go ahead and delete the top one. All the red files here, all these red tracks, red oranges tracks from, let's say from 1 to 20 there, those are all Viral Audio Ascent, and then everything else is just things are added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the track itself so you can hear this trailer type track I created featuring this plugin, and then I will go over the sounds that I use from Viral Audio in this track. So here we go. So that is the track. I will only go over the Viral Audio Ascent sounds that I use. So we're going to start at the top here. I was using some of the whoosh hit sounds from the plugin. I used 2 whoosh hit sounds. It sounds like almost like a roller coaster blended with another sound. So I have this one hit here. And actually it's 2 hits layered. If you see, I have 2 actual MIDI notes there playing, and then I have that layered with the whooshes here. And together that sounds like this. So really great sound there. Next we have the risers that I have coming in throughout the track, and that is 2 of the risers that I've converted to audio so that I can move them about as I needed. And this is what those sound like. This is the first riser. And I have a reverb and EQ on there to bring out some of the energy there. And then here's a second riser. And actually, the second riser is actually the first part of the first riser. I just layered that under the second riser. So I just cut this like first riser and then layered the second riser under that so that I could have a little bit more of a rising energy. And this is what they both sound like together. I don't know. I thought it sounded cool. Let me unsolo these. And next, I'm going to go to the booms. I'm just using this sub boom sound. Actually, it's throughout the whole track until we get to towards the halfway through the mark. But at the beginning, just adding some of that deep sub weightiness to the track. And a lot of reverb and delay or echo, whatever you want to call it there. Then we have a downer that comes in throughout the track. Typical like downer sound. Then I have this bass sound. This is coming in from the beginning. It's pretty much throughout the entire track except for the break there. And this is what that sounds like. So it's playing a little bit more of a melodic line with the sort of sub energy, the bass energy. There's like a kick in there, lead throughout, and that's playing sort of a melody line I was trying to come up with. And this is the lead alarmer here. And then as we get into the track, we have this spiccato hybridizer coming in. And what that hybridizer is doing, I normally do something like that with a clock sound, which I do have in this track, but I usually do something like that with a clock sound, but I decided to use it with the synth sound also here in the track. Next, we have pads, which I typically have at the beginning of the song. So I have that here. And that pad is called Quantum Energy. I'm just playing that low D, and then I bring in the octave higher, and that's pretty much throughout the track if I do play it, and then coming in towards the end there, bringing some of that pad energy. And then we have some pulses from Viral Audio Ascent. This comes in also fairly early, sounding like this. And what I'm thinking about doing, you'll watch me do this real time, is because it's going to be the same throughout the whole track. So I'll probably do some EQ filtering, maybe with the low end. Maybe I do want the low end at the beginning. I want some of that there. And let's do automation, EQ. I want to do high cut, low cut frequency. And let's see, maybe we'll play around with this. I'm going to play the track now with everything in it. So what I'm doing is adding in automation here so that the low energy is there at the beginning, but then it cuts off the lows and then fades it back in slowly. that is the gist of it. I actually call this track Cautionary Tale, and that is probably how I'm going to leave it for now, to send either to a library or to pitch to opportunities. But shout out to Viral Audio for sending Ascent my way to review for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Definitely check it out. Again, it clocks in at about 400 megabytes, so not taking up a lot of energy or a lot of space on your computer. It also has a lot of sounds in there for the price. Currently on sale for $35, I believe it was, and normally it will be 55-ish or 59. I got my prices right, but I think it's 35.55 once it is off of the sale. Yep, $35 right now. Normally it'll be $55. Again, you have all those different categories as I shown earlier. You have the it disappeared. But you have the basses, Brahms, downers, leads, pads, plucks, pulses, risers, sub booms, trailer hits, whooshes, all housed and created from the analog synth Polyvox, Synth Legend Polyvox. These sounds were created from. So yeah, definitely check out the Viral Audio Ascent. And if you have any questions, definitely check out their website, I think it's viral-audio.com. Check out this is their first plugin, so you can't check out other stuff they have yet, but I'm sure they have a lot more in the works. But even as their first outing, this is an incredible instrument. I was able to create a great song, a great track with it. So definitely check that out. And also be sure to like and comment and subscribe to this channel, The Fingaz here on YouTube, for more great videos like this. Be sure to check out the links in the description. This is an episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast. This is episode 77, if I got my numbers right. So we're getting close to that 100th episode mark. So thank you for the support, whether this is your first time watching this channel or whether you've watched all 77 episodes of this podcast or some other videos on this channel. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more great videos like this, more great reviews, to learn about sync licensing, to learn about trailer music, to learn about music business, and more. Definitely subscribe to the channel and check out the Syncrets To Success podcast. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. All right.